You are not going to believe what just happened behind closed doors in Ottawa. In a quiet meeting room, away from cameras and headlines, Canada made a decision that sent shockwaves through Washington. Canada, one of America's closest military allies and a key partner in NORAD, officially said no to the F-35 fighter jet. Instead, it chose Sweden's Gripen E. This was not because of money, and not because of budget pressure. It was for something much deeper: technological sovereignty. And that choice is now forcing the world to pay attention. This decision is not just about buying fighter jets. It is about independence in an era where military power is tied directly to technology control. A G7 nation just rejected the most powerful defense program on Earth and chose a different path. From the Pentagon to NATO headquarters, analysts are scrambling to understand why Canada walked away from the F-35 and what this means for the future of alliances. To understand this moment, we need to look at two completely different philosophies of air power. The F-35 Lightning II represents a vision created in Washington, a global combat network where aircraft, satellites, and command centers are all connected in real time. On paper, it sounds perfect. Every jet shares data instantly. Every mission is part of a larger system. But there is a catch that few countries openly talk about. The F-35 is not fully owned by the countries that fly it. Its software, mission data, diagnostics, and maintenance systems are controlled through servers in the United States. Nations that buy it do not get access to the source code. They cannot fully repair or modify the aircraft on their own. Every major update, every deep maintenance task, requires approval and support from American contractors. In simple terms, you fly the jet, but you do not control it. The Gripen E tells a completely different story. Saab designed it around a concept called sovereign sustainment. Canada is not just buying an aircraft. It is buying the right to control it, full access to software, the ability to modify systems, the right to assemble, maintain, and upgrade the jet entirely on Canadian soil. When a Gripen lands at a Canadian base, local technicians can open it, diagnose problems, update software, and get it back in the air without calling another country for permission. This difference matters even more when you look at Canada's geography. The Arctic is brutal. Temperatures can drop to -40 degrees Celsius. Winds can reach 100 kilometers per hour. Runways are often covered in ice and snow. These are not ideal conditions for complex, delicate systems. The F-35 requires long, pristine runways and specialized infrastructure. The Gripen does not. The Gripen E can operate from runways as short as 800 meters. It can take off from highways. It can land on rough, improvised strips near remote borders. Its engine was designed for northern European winters, where harsh weather is the norm. While older Canadian CF-18s struggle to maintain long missions, the Gripen maintains high readiness even during blizzards. In the Arctic, reliability is not a luxury. It is survival. This matters because the Arctic is becoming one of the most contested regions on Earth. Russia is investing billions into northern military bases, radar systems, and nuclear icebreakers. Climate change is opening new shipping routes. Oil and gas reserves under the Arctic Ocean are becoming easier to access. Canada controls one of the largest territories in the world, but its ability to monitor and defend it has been shrinking. The Gripen changes that balance. In a conflict scenario, modern warfare targets major air bases first. The Gripen is built for dispersed operations. Instead of relying on a few large bases, Gripens can spread out across many small locations and continue fighting even if main bases are damaged. 6 technicians can swap an engine in about an hour at a remote site. This flexibility is something military planners value deeply. Even if it is rarely discussed publicly, Washington noticed this decision immediately. While official reactions were carefully worded, reports suggest frustration behind the scenes. The U.S. ambassador requested urgent meetings. Pentagon teams were sent to assess the impact. Concerns were raised about interoperability and NORAD procedures. But NATO analysts were quick to point out that the Gripen uses the same Link 16 data systems and can carry the same missiles as other alliance aircraft. Technical adjustments are manageable. Political panic is not. In fact, some NATO members see this as an opportunity. The alliance's northern flank faces increasing pressure. A jet that is cheaper to operate and easier to deploy allows countries to field more aircraft and cover more territory. Canada can afford more Gripens than F-35s on the same budget. More aircraft means better coverage, stronger deterrence, and greater resilience. But what truly worries Washington is not military capability. It is the economic signal. The Gripen deal includes major technology transfer. Final assembly will happen in Canada. A large portion of components will be manufactured domestically. Thousands of Canadian engineers will be trained over the next decade. Defense money stays inside the country instead of flowing overseas. Universities and local aerospace companies become part of the defense ecosystem. The cost numbers make the contrast even clearer. The Gripen costs around $8,000 per flight hour. The F-35 costs between $35,000 and $47,000. Over decades of operation, the savings reach billions. That money can be reinvested into Arctic surveillance, drones, radar systems, and cybersecurity. Instead of funding foreign maintenance contracts, Canada funds its own long-term capabilities. Maintenance autonomy is where the difference becomes undeniable. When an F-35 experiences a software issue, pilots may wait days or weeks for specialized teams and encrypted tools. When a Gripen has a problem, Canadian crews can fix it the same day. Control over maintenance means control over readiness. And readiness means real security. For pilots, the Gripen is also easier to master. Its cockpit is designed around human decision-making. Training takes months instead of years. That means Canada can train more pilots, rotate crews more efficiently, and reduce reliance on foreign training programs. Sensor fusion capabilities are comparable to the F-35, but with one key difference. Canada controls the code. Algorithms can be customized for Arctic terrain and national systems without asking anyone else. Politically, the message from Ottawa is clear. Canada will choose technology based on operational needs, not alliance pressure. This does not weaken NATO. It strengthens it by proving that cooperation does not require dependence. Other countries are watching closely. Poland is inviting Saab for talks. Spain is reviewing costs. Even strong F-35 supporters are quietly reassessing long-term dependence. There is also history behind this choice. Decades ago, Canada canceled the Avro Arrow, one of the most advanced fighter projects of its time, under external pressure. That decision crippled domestic aerospace development for generations. This time, Canada chose a different outcome. It chose control over convenience. The Gripen has become more than a fighter jet. It is a symbol that security does not come from buying the most famous technology. It comes from owning it, understanding it, controlling it. Canada now controls its air power destiny. And for many mid-sized nations, the message is simple. You do not have to choose between security and sovereignty. With the right strategy, you can have both.